morning. Welcome to our online yoga workshop event. Today's program is brought to you by Parkinson's Community Los Angeles. Today we are so fortunate to have with us Kathleen Ross-Allee. I'm Judy Yaris, Vice President of PCLA. For those of you who don't know us, we're a nonprofit that supports families living with Parkinson's disease. And we do this through free education programs like this one, online and in-person support groups, social events, and so much more. Today's conversation is brought to you by our generous sponsors, Boston Scientific and Acadia, and by important donations from people just like you. In the Parkinson's community, if you appreciate our work, please consider making a donation at PCLA.org. Your donation is 100% tax deductible. So thank you in advance. We rely on your generosity to help us continue this important work. Now, please join me in welcoming Kathleen today. Kathleen Ross-Allee is a certified yoga therapist and fitness trainer with more than 30 years of experience as a health and wellness expert. I think I have known her for about 25 years. She's quite amazing. She is the managing director and an instructor at the Loyola Marymount University Yoga Therapy Prescription Program, the first university accredited program in the United States, where she also earned the C-IAYT certification as a yoga therapist. She is also a yoga therapist and clinical health educator for the Center for Healthy Living at Kaiser Permanente, Woodland Hills, where she applies her skills helping people with a variety of health issues, including those with Parkinson's disease. Kathleen's gentle yoga therapy for Parkinson's class has a devoted following in the Parkinson's community. She's taught all over the city over the years. And now she is continuing that at Kaiser Woodland Hills. I'll turn it over to you, Kathleen.
Thank you so much, Judy. 25 years.
I think so.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Long
gosh.
time.
You're outing me and my age here.
Okay.
First of all, thank you so much, Judy, for keeping me involved in this beautiful community that you have created, this great support community. And I know we have a very limited time together today, everyone. So I'm going to try to go over a few basics. Some of you probably have more experience in different fields of exercise, yoga, meditation. So this is more of an overview of what yoga therapy can offer. And I'm looking down the list of people, and I actually see someone on the list that I owe a phone call to. So Robert, you're going to get your phone call. I have walked into this new year with a lot of shift and change. And as Judy mentioned, I'm working at Kaiser Permanente, but due to the pandemic, did everyone remember pandemic? Everything got put on hold. And there was a major Parkinson's program that was running at Woodland Hills Kaiser. I am now getting that up and running again, and it's taking a little while, but it's going to happen. And so today is just kind of a foray into what this can offer to you. And you'll see that I've called it chair yoga. That is, I use that terminology because there are all levels of people coming into a practice. It doesn't mean that you would be limited to working in a chair, but this is what we can do in a chair, or when we're having an off day, or maybe you're just not feeling like getting out of bed yet. So it's kind of that idea. But first steps for any practice in yoga is about the breath. And one of the things we all understand is that our vocal cords can be affected by Parkinson's disease. And so I really want to bring into, I had a moment today. I mean, I plan these things, and then I had this moment walking through the house, and I heard my husband singing in the background. And I thought, I know that there's vocal exercises that we want to use, but I would offer up, if you have a favorite song, sing out Louise every day. Because sometimes if I say, oh, do this exercise and do this, then we get caught up and in the I have to do these things rather than I want to do these things. So if you have joy of any kind, that you like music, you like art, don't let those go. Find a way to bring that into your practice. We're going to talk about the benefits of breath and stress management, because we know that working with breath, working with gentle yoga movements affects the parasympathetic nervous system. And that's what helps to calm us down. When we get stressed out, those things can slow down our movement, increase our movement, take our movement out of control. So taking that step back and just taking one breath at a time. And I want you all to look at this slide. So just take a moment watching this box. As you can imagine, as the box opens, that's your inhale. As the box closes, that's your exhale. I guess you'll have to click it again, my dear. There we go. So let your breath get in tune with this box for a moment. And then go ahead and pause. But we're talking about different ways to incorporate breath. One of them is visual. Some of us respond better to a visual as we do our breathing. But we want to think of that expansiveness. When we breathe, it expands our body. It stretches our body. It's the first line of defense when we are feeling stressed out, is going back to the breath. So the first thing we're going to do is breathe. So this is just little information. We breathe about 12 to 18 breaths per minute. And it's part of our daily life. We don't think about it very often. We notice when we need to catch our breath. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. It's like, oh, just hold on, let me catch my breath. If we pay attention more often during the day and practice it, it's going to become more natural. And then we're going to know when it's off. We're going to know, oh, wait a second, I'm not getting a deep enough breath. So every day, we want to know, where is the breath? What type of breath is it? And where do I feel it? And every single yoga teacher is going to tell you this. We're going to all tell you this. But do you actually believe this? Do you actually do this every day? Really reflect back. Do you check in every day? So just let's take a moment together. Sitting comfortably, feet planted on the floor. Allow your eyes either to cast downward, or you can close them, whatever you're most comfortable with. And just bring your awareness first to the physical body. And just observe how you're feeling from the crown of the head down through the muscles of your face, into your jaw, the neck, your shoulders, down each of your arms. Bringing your awareness to your upper chest and upper back, and you're just noticing sensations, maybe tightness, certain things you are feeling right now. Maybe soreness, down through the spine, down into your lower back, into your belly. Notice the buttocks against the chair, your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your feet. Whether they're barefoot or in shoes, just noticing, try to wiggle your toes. And then notice how you're feeling emotionally today. Also notice what kind of energy you have at 11:15 on a Thursday morning. Is this typical for you? Do you feel different today? And then bring your awareness from that to your breathing. Just noticing the breath coming in, noticing the breath going out. As you breathe, see if you can move your spine back over your hips and see if that deepens your breath. Allow yourself to even have a breath mantra of I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. I know I am breathing in. I know I am letting go. And then gently bring your awareness back to the physical body. Starting on the right side of the body, observe the right ear, the right shoulder, the right hip, the right leg. Notice the whole right side of the body, whatever you're experiencing. And then move your attention over to the left side of the body, left side of the head, the left shoulder, the left buttock, the left leg, the left foot. And then invite the right side to join the left side. And once again, experience the body as a whole, allowing each side to help the other. Slowly, if your eyes are closed, allow your eyes to blink open. Bring yourself back into this space and notice if you feel anything different than when you first found the login, signed in, checked your microphone, found your video. Does your energy feel different now? So that's just a mindful awareness. So simple. We started that at 11:13. It is now 11:17. It took 4 minutes. So I don't know if anybody else has this happen in their life, but I don't have time. Gosh, I'd like to practice yoga. I don't have time. That was yoga that we just practiced. Even simpler, even simpler. I'm going to give you, and I'm going to type this in the chat room. I'm going to teach you what's called the 3 breaths. The first one is to initiate the breath. The second one is to integrate the breath. The third one is to inhabit the breath. So let's all do this together. I'm going to just scoot a little closer so you can see a little bit more of my face. So we're just going to take a deep breath, however you take your breath. Just take a breath. Now take a second breath. And then take a third breath. Simple question. Did the third breath feel different than the first breath? When we need to stop and take a breath, We go, oh my gosh, I just need to take a breath. That first breath, we're initiating breathing. We're reminding the brain, oh, right, I need to be consciously breathing sometimes. There's the unconscious breathing when we're sleeping, but in a daytime, sometimes we just need to take a breath. The second breath, we go, I can start to feel it in my body again. I'm integrating my breath. We take another breath, and now it's with us. We've inhabited the breath. It's part of us again. So when we check in, and my mother used to say, just take a deep breath, but she never said the next part. So I would go, right? It was like just a kid being stubborn. And it didn't make any difference. I was like, yeah, okay, I took a breath. Now what? Okay, mom. But if I learn to take back the present moment with my breath, okay, is nose breathing preferred? Well, yes and no. Some people are not able to nose breathe. So that's like, as you all know, you can breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. If you're able to do that, that is actually a faster way to calm the nervous system, and it's more cooling to the system and affects us a little deeper. However, it is not the only way to get those responses in our body. The nose breathing, we're not taking in as we're breathing in, we're not taking in other things through our mouth. Does that make sense? So it's a little bit cleaner in a sense. So we're not having other germs maybe coming in, right? However, if someone has bronchiectasis or some kind of lung disease, they may not be able to access nose breathing. They might have to do pursed lip breathing. So pursed lip breathing is where you either roll your tongue, but if you don't have the gene, not everybody has the DNA of her rolling a tongue, so don't get jealous, okay? So if you can't roll the tongue, and I wasn't sticking my tongue out at you, then you purse your lips like you're sipping through a straw. And then you either exhale through the nose or you exhale through the mouth, depending. And this really depends on your own physiology. You might, if you have any lung conditions, you would check it asthma, certain types um, of respiratory illnesses will change the shape of your breath. But for the argument of is nose breathing preferred, let's all take a moment, if you're comfortable with it. So when we breathe through the nose, the first thing I want you to do is just kind of check your nose. Is one side more open than the other? You can tell I have allergies today, right? So if one side is more open than the other, so just understand there are different types. Like, I mean, I could do hours on breathing, but what you want to check is, are you stuffed up? If you're really stuffed up, nose breathing can make you feel a little claustrophobic. So I don't want you to think there's one breath that's better than the other. There are just different breathing practices throughout a day. Okay. So let's all try to breathe through our nose for a moment. Now, if that felt okay, and if that felt like it relaxed you, awesome. If breathing through your nose raised your anxiety, that's something to know about yourself. So remember, there's no right or wrong way to breathe. We just want you to breathe. Okay. So over time, you might want to take a practice with a yoga therapist. I would highly recommend approaching a yoga therapist about this because they have a little bit broader knowledge. They've studied a little bit longer. So reach out to a yoga therapist and maybe have a session about this. So thank you. So just basics. And again, I'm just going to read through this quickly so we can get to our practice today because we are going to do a short practice. Breathing helps with stress management and it gives you a better relationship with yourself and with other people. When we are not balanced with our breathing, it usually means that our stress levels might be high. that we're not connected to ourself, and we may be responding with agitation, with anger, with irritation. So when we practice yoga, which is the umbrella of our breath work and our physical work, we're working to calm and refine the mind. We're looking to steady the mind with our breathing. We're looking to connect the mind and the breath. And when those are connected, when the breath becomes calmer, our mind starts to calm down. When our breath gets out of whack, disturbed, we can become agitated. So looking at where you are right now, some of you may already be practicing yoga. Some of you might be having a fitness program, working out, doing rock steady. You might be practicing Tai Chi. All of these things will support you. Yoga is just one of them. It's not an either or. It's not only do this. The more styles of things you can do and learn and practice is going to keep your mind more flexible. So looking at the tools today, remember, we want to create a plan. When we are starting our day, it's not just about, I have Parkinson's disease. I also have a life that I'm living. So we want to focus on the broader picture of what else are we working on a daily basis? Relationships with ourselves, with others. Think about this for yourself. What is the one thing you could do to reduce your stress? When we think about what our stressors are, the only person that can manage your stress is yourself. So is there one thing that you can shift in your life to reduce your stress? Think about what might get in your way if you do that. What would you do to achieve your goal? Will you set aside time for yourself every day? The earlier in the day when you wake up that you start practicing something, anything connecting mind to breath to movement, that will play out for the rest of your day. So I do hear in a lot of my practices where people say, I have time at night. Great, start there. But also remember, your practice can set the tone for your day. And once you've done these things, how are you going to reward yourself? What is going to be the motivator for us? What will you gift yourself with if you set these goals and start to put them into practice? You don't have to do one thing only. You can do lots of different things, working on balance, working on your mind, working on your breath. So what I had done is I went to the Calm app. I don't know if anybody else uses the Calm app. I use it at Kaiser because we offer it for free through the organization. But in these apps like Insight Timer, Calm app, there are many meditations, breath practices, stories about sleep. Because one of the things that many of my Parkinson's patients that I work with have trouble with is having sleep disorders. So when we have these resources, sometimes in the moment, we can't think. So we can put an app on with calming music. So we go back to this idea of syncing your breath. So remembering the first thing we talked about, just remember, visuals sometimes help us. This you can find on the internet or in the PowerPoint when you receive it. Talking to yourself, doing the 3 breaths that we discussed, going through the physical body. In yoga, what I did was take you through what's called the koshas, the physical, the emotional, the mental, the basically the thought patterns and your breathing. So that is the end of our PowerPoint. If you're not breathing, you're not living. So you have to practice your breath. The rumor is that yogis say that you were born with a certain amount of breaths. Like you've got a max, there's a max. So that kind of makes sense because we know that when we're stress breathing, that we're raising our blood pressure, that we can cause other health issues. So that means we're using up our breaths too quick. So the more we extend the breath, the more we extend the quality of our life. I'm just going to sit comfortably. I put my glasses on so I could still see you in the distance, resting your hands on your lap for just a moment. Allow yourself a few moments to just, if you can, either close your eyes, or if you're not comfortable doing that, rub your hands together and cup your hands over your eyes, just so we can reduce that Zoom screen fatigue of a little bit, especially since there was a PowerPoint up there. And then take your hands and rest them on your lap, keeping the eyes either softly gazing or closed. Take a moment to get in touch with your breathing. After everything I've thrown at you already, just notice your own breath pattern. Your breath pattern is going to be different from everybody else's. When you notice that your breath pattern is at ease, just sit with that for a few breaths. Allow the shoulders now just to soften away from the ears. And then very gently, you're going to lower your chin down towards your chest. As you inhale, raise the chin up and maybe lift it a little higher if you like. And then exhale, lower the chin back down. And then try that again. And you can go at your own pace. Remember, you now have your own breathing pattern. If it's awkward, you can always follow the movement that I'm doing. And then bring your head back to the center and soften the shoulders again. I'm going to move in a little closer because I want to demonstrate. As we turn our head now to the left, try to keep your chin parallel to the floor. And then bring your head back to the center and then take it over to your right. And again, back to the center and over to the left. And just go back and forth a few times. And remember, it's not how far you go. Once you bump into that little resistance, don't push beyond it. Yeah, good. And then bring your head back to the center. So let me review. We've done up and down. That's called vertical, right? Horizontal to the sides. And then we're going to tilt the left ear to the left shoulder. Yeah, it's not going to go very far. Look, I've been doing this forever, and that's as far as mine goes. Then tilt it to the other side. And then back over. It's like a bobblehead doll, yeah? Great. Now bring it back to the center. Those are the three movements that your head and neck are allowed to make. It's called neck reintegration. So our head goes up and down. This is our vertical motion. Then it goes side to side. That's horizontal. Then it goes into the tilt, which I actually call whatever, or a root, like a dog, right? They just kind of go, what? To the side. Those are the three movements. What we tend to do is this. Watch my head. I'm going to turn my head to the left and I go, oh, I'm not going far enough. And I start to tilt it. That's called coupling. Now that puts extra pressure in the neck and pinches the nerves. So if you learn anything today is how to hold your head. What we do when we care about people is we go, are you okay? Look at my neck. Are you okay? we want to make sure that we don't do this we don't do this forward head projection, because what that does is it also rounds our shoulders. That's when we start to get lightheaded. The breath is no longer moving through our body. We're cutting off that connection from brain down into the body. Now, from there, we're going to roll our shoulders up, back, and let go. Up, back, and let go. And just a couple more at your own pace. And then we're going to reverse it. We're going to take it back, up, and forward. And if you're hearing crunches and sounds and things, those are my shoulders, not yours. It's going through the microphone. I just know it. All right. Good. Now place your hands on top of your thighs, right where your knees are, and then slide your hands up your thighs, lift the chest, lift the chin, and then lower the chin as you slide the hands back to the knees. Don't let them go any further than the knees, and just round the upper shoulders. Sometimes I see people hunch over. I want to see you work with just the upper back right now. Then inhale, slide the hands up, lift the chest, lift the chin, and then slide the hands to the knees and gently tuck the chin and round the back. And just going in and out of this a few times. Good. And then sitting up tall again. So what we're doing is a warm-up, right? A warm-up for a yoga practice. Place your hands by your knees again. Slide the left hand up your leg and turn the body a little bit to the left. Then inhale, slide the hand forward and face forward. Then the right arm, slide it up the leg, turn the head to the right. And then sliding forward and facing forward, and again to the left. So now just do this at your own pace, and really don't get caught up in the breathing. Just breathe. As long as you're breathing, all is well. So just going from side to side, this lateral motion. This is the one that gets us falling off balance when we're walking. So if our body is stiff, this is a great way to ensure that when we're walking that we have better balance. Good. The next time you face forward, take your arms by your sides. Now I am going to go back to this other chair. I'm going to scoot back so you can see my whole body now. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. All right. Now you'll notice that I have placed something under my feet. I really don't need it, but the reason I did that is to remind me to tell you, when you're sitting in a chair, your knees should be lower than your butt. Okay? If it's not, then a couple of things. You're going to want to put a blanket or a pillow underneath your butt to raise it up. If your feet don't touch the floor, you want to put something under your feet. Mine do, so I'm going to move that out of the way now. But the idea is your feet should be planted on the floor. Your hips should be higher than your knees, and that's going to relieve a lot of spinal pressure. It's also, if your legs are dangling, it pulls on your knees and weakens your lower back. So sitting is so important. And why do I have a teacher who calls sitting the new smoking, right? Why? Because it's unconscious. Sometimes we sit and we just go, oh. That way we're not building any strength or structure. So sitting up tall not only means we press the feet into the floor, we're going to lift the pelvic floor up. So you know where your perineum is? You know when they tell you, you have to go to the bathroom so you don't want to pee? Squeeze that, but lift it up. Lift it up towards the belly button. And you'll notice that your posture is better. Your core starts to engage, which is essential in this type of work. Now, releasing your arms by your sides, keep your feet pressing into the floor. Keep those legs engaged. You're going to get tired. As you inhale, raise both of your arms just to shoulder high. And then exhale, lower the arms back down. Match the movement to the breath. Inhale, shoulder high. And exhale and lower. Let's do another one of those. Now, just the left arm, you're going to take it all the way up, whatever that means. If you have to bend your elbow, that's okay. And release the arm back down. Then the right arm. We take an inhale as we reach up. We take an exhale as we lower down. Now we're going to add something, another layer. Raise the left arm and turn your head towards the right. Then face forward and lower the arm back down. Now the right arm goes up, look left, and face forward and lower the arm. Now again, left arm, look right, face forward and lower down, and right arm look left. Good, and lower down. Rest your hands on your lap for a moment. So what we're working with is brain remapping. So we're working with neuroscience. We're remapping the brain and teaching our brain to listen to our left side, to listen to our right side. So in order to do that, take the left hand across your body. Good. As you inhale, open the left arm out to the side and let your head and your eyes watch your fingertips. And then bring the hand all the way back to the upper chest. Inhale, rotating the head to the left. And bring it back to the chest. Now, here's the challenge. Here's the challenge. Face your head forward. You're going to open your arm to the left, but turn your head to the right. This is where we start to get those brain synapses going. Inhale, left arm goes to the left, head turns to the right. Exhale, face forward and bring your hand back to your chest. And again, inhale, open, turn your head to the right. Exhale, face forward and bring your hand to the chest. Good. Then rest your hand on your lap. Nod your head a couple times. I call this a neck check. And then just swivel it a little bit. Make sure you're not gathering any tension in the neck. And then that tilt, the dog, and then back to the center. Good. Take the right hand across your chest. Head goes with the hand. Inhale, open the arm to the right, let the head follow. And exhale, bring your hand back to your shoulder. And again, inhale, open to the right. And exhale, back to the shoulder. Now we're going to turn the head to the left. Arm goes to the right. Inhale, open. Exhale, face forward. Good. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now rest your hand on your lap. Now, when Vivian wrote to me, she said, do you want to use any props? Kind of. I want to give you some suggestions. Again, because this is such a short amount of time together, I want to give you some ideas. I talked to you about the chair height, blocks, pillows. These are always very good in this type of practice because we're trying to strengthen our legs. If you place a block between your thighs or a pillow between your thighs, I know a lot of you've been to physical therapy. This is that same idea when you are squeezing the block, the pillow, and then relaxing. Our inner thighs get very weak. They get very weak. Our outer thighs stay stronger. So if you're practicing, consider sometimes using a block. So I'm going to add to this, hold the block or the pillow if you have one, and then bring your hands together. Good. As you inhale, open both arms out to the sides, and exhale. As you close the arms, squeeze the block a little tighter. Inhale, relax, but not enough to let the block drop. And then exhale, squeeze to bring the hands together and squeeze the block. Good. Again, inhale and exhale. Good. Now, remove the block or the pillow. The other thing I mentioned was working with a strap. Now, many times when I work with my Parkinson's patients, also I work with people with MS, a few other conditions, sometimes I'll hear, I actually can't extend my leg, Kathleen. I can't lift it. So first we're going to try this without the strap. Just going to extend the right leg forward and then place it back down on the ground. Then the left leg. Yes, this is a walking step, a walking step. And then try it again, right leg. Notice how it feels if you're able to do that. Good. Now, if you have a strap, I know some of you weren't able to. I'm sure that everyone whose camera's off has one. I know this. All right, we're going to place the strap under our right foot. I'm holding the very ends of the strap, and I'm going to just bring my elbows into my sides, just so I have an anchor. It's really important to have an anchor so that we don't overextend our spine. Now we're going to push the strap away using our leg muscles. If, in fact, now put it back down again, if you're not able to lift your leg on its own, now you can use your arms to help lift it up, because it's very important to reconnect brain to movement and then place the foot back down. Now, cheating, place the left foot in the strap, take the right foot out, draw those elbows in, and once again, just extend the leg. So now you have a prop and know how to use it and take it back down. I'm using what's called a TheraBand. I like the stretchiness of it. It's more forgiving. The yoga strap is certainly welcome, but I like yoga, the TheraBands, because many times you use those in therapy. All right, so I'm going to go place the strap down, and I'm going to pump my hands out. Pump my hands out just because I was holding something. Circle the wrists. And it may seem simple, but when we work the extremities in this way, it runs all the way up to the body and to the brain. So it's really important. Taking your arms by your sides now, the palms of the hands are facing the midline of the body. Extend the right leg forward and the left arm either forward or up, whichever way feels better for you, and then release it down. Then we're going to take the left leg, stretch it out, raise the right arm forward or up, and then release it down. Now take the strap. Many times we become stronger on one side with this condition. So if we hold a strap, one arm is going to guide the other. So let's stretch the arms in front of us. If you want, take your hands a little wider and raise the strap up a little bit and just see how it feels. And then lower the strap back down. So now you can see that the dominant arm is going to help the less dominant arm. So try it again. Beautiful. And release down. Now, if you can, extend the right leg forward as you stretch the arms up. And release down. And now the left leg. And release down. Good. Go ahead and place your strap off to the side. Rest your hands on your lap. And just take a moment to reflect back to when we first began. We've covered a lot of topics. I gave you some little micro bits of information, enough to make you ask for more, I hope. But go back to the physical body. And even with this minimal practice, notice physically how you feel from the crown of the head, muscles of the face, jaw, neck, shoulders, arms, upper chest, upper back, down through the spine, belly, buttocks, thighs, knees, lower legs, and feet. And just take all that in. Notice emotionally how you're feeling in this moment, and if that has shifted even the slightest bit. And remember, there's no right or wrong way to feel. Notice your energy. Are you tired or are you relaxed? Are you energized or are you anxious? Again, there's no right or wrong. This is where we check in to see, how did this work affect me? What else can I do? Bringing curiosity in to any practice of any style that you do. Observe your thoughts right now. Are they all over the place? Are they a little more focused? And then return to your breathing. Notice the breath as it comes in, and observe your breath as it goes out. I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. I know I am breathing in. I know I am letting go. I know I am breathing in. I know I am letting go of that which I no longer need. Bringing the palms of the hands together and gently rubbing them, creating that energy and connection with self. And then resting the hands over your heart. Letting your breath move your hands, letting your hands feel this movement, connection to self, self-care, svadhyaya. Taking a moment to be grateful for all that we have, all that we give, and all that we are. Namaste, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Kathleen. This was amazing. I
Thank you,
feel like a
Judy.
different person. It was so great.
I love you, Judy.
No, I love a little yoga to it just changes the day for me when I do something like this. It just changes the day. It opens me up. And I love that. And I want to thank today's sponsors, Boston Scientific and AbbVie, for making this possible for us, as well as all of you that are on this Zoom today. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you got as much out of it as I did. It was really pretty remarkable. We have some incredible events coming up, and we hope you'll enjoy us for all of our Let's Talk Parkinson's events. If you enjoyed this program, please visit PCLA.org and make your donation today. By donating to PCLA, you can join us in our mission to improve the lives of families in our community living with Parkinson's. You can also find our contact information at the bottom of the screen. As you know, PCLA is a nonprofit and all donations are tax deductible. Our upcoming events are really great. So join us January 26th for DBS versus focused ultrasound with Dr. Asaf Bari. And you won't want to miss our Intimacy with Parkinson's with Dr. Kelly Rees on Friday, February 9th. We're also having an in-person event in conjunction with the Mayweather Boxing Center over in Culver City on January 28th. And that is taking place from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. So we hope you'll join us for an in-person event and learn about rock steady boxing. Kathleen mentioned it earlier. We love the idea of cross training, and it just really helps your brain. And Kathleen, again, thank you. This was quite amazing. I loved it, and I'm sure everyone that participated feels a little bit more blissed and enlightened today. So thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.